Hey guys, in this video, we are going to go over multi-step equations with variables on both sides that can have infinite solutions. First, let's dive into the word infinite. Infinite, like to infinity and beyond, means that there are many solutions, many numbers that our answer could actually be. There are infinitely many solutions, multiple solutions. Tons of solutions out there, and you're going to see why as we start number 1. So on page 10, if you're following along in your notebook because you are watching this video while we are virtually learning in the 2021 school year, your notebook needs to start to look like mine on page number 10 with your title Infinite Solutions as we start example number 1. So example number 1, we have the distributive property involved. So 6 times 2x plus 4, close your parentheses, is equal to 3 times 4, x plus 8. Okay, so let's go ahead and start going through these particular problems. And again, like I said, we see the distributive property first. Okay, so I'm going to distribute, which means I'm going to multiply the 6 through my parentheses to each component. 6 times 2 is 12x. 6 times a positive 4 is positive 24. Then on the other side, I'm going to distribute my 3 through my parentheses, which means to multiply my 3 through. I have 3 times 4, which is 12x, 3 times 8, which is 24. Now, some of you may notice that right here I have the exact same equation or exact same expression on each side of my equal sign. Again, I'm going to draw the barrier around the equal sign so we can see. And again, as you can see, I have 12x on this side and a plus 24x on this side. So already that looks a little different than what I'm used to. Let's go ahead and try to solve this to see if we can figure out what's going on. Let's remove the x's on both sides. So this is a positive 12x. Let's do the opposite of that, which is subtract 12x on both sides. 12x minus 12x cancels. That's 0. So I'm left with 24. Okay, on the other side, 12x minus 12x is 0. So I'm left with 24. So my equation literally says 24 equals 24. Okay, y'all, maybe I did something wrong. Let's try again. Let's come over here. I'm going to rewrite this exact step. Okay, I'm going to draw the barrier one more time. I know I had to mess up. Let's do the opposite of something else now. Well, the opposite of adding 24 is subtracting 24. 24 minus 24 is 0. I'm left with 12x. 24 minus 24 is what? Is 0. So I'm left with 12x. Okay, 12x equals 12x. It's multiplication. The opposite of that is dividing. 12 divided by 12 is 1x. 12 divided by 12 is 1x. X equals x. I've never seen that before. Well, y'all, this is the infinite many solutions or infinite solutions equations. So basically, no matter what I plug in for x, I'm going to get the exact same answer on each side. So let's take it all the way back to 12x plus 24 is equal to 12x plus 24. Okay, we know x is equal to x. We're just going to start picking random numbers for x. Let's say that x is equal to 1. Okay, let's say x is equal to 2. Let's even say that x is equal to 4. And we'll go ahead and stop there so I don't fill up the whole entire page with examples. Okay, so let's see if there's really infinite many solutions. Let's just see what they're talking about. Let's scoot this up just a little bit. Okay, so let's try it out. 12, let's plug in 1 first. So your Sam's x is equal to 1. So I'm going to replace the x with the 1. Let's see what you're talking about. 12 times 1 is 12. Huh? 36 equal to 36? Okay, well that worked. Let's try 2. There surely cannot be 2 answers. Or x cannot be 2 different numbers. What? 12 times 2 plus 24? Twelve times 2 is 24. I have the exact same thing on the other side. 48 equals 48. What in the world? I'm used to only having one number as a solution. X is 1 and x can be 2? Okay, let's see if x can be another number. We'll try it. Okay, 12 times 4 this time. Okay, 12 times 4 is 48. Plus 24. 12 times 4 is 48. Plus 24. 72 is equal to 72. What? That worked too? Oh, y'all couldn't see the rest of that. Huh. So with infinite many solutions, I only chose 3 numbers it could be. It could be all the way down to negative 1,000, negative a billion, all the way to positive 1,000, positive 1 billion. There are infinite many solutions to these equations because each side of my equal sign is literally saying the exact same thing. Now, I could have, if I really wanted to, go up to the very, very beginning with all these parentheses and plugged in these values for x here. I chose to do it at this step because I didn't want to use the distributive property or the order of operation. So again, if we could have went from my very first step and plugged in the numbers that we got down here for x, and this step here that I written in black ink and black marker. However, I wanted it to be more simplified, so I went with this step. Okay, we could have also done 12x equals 12x as well and realized that 12 equals 12, 24 equals 24, 36 equals 36, 48 equals 48, and 72 equals 72. Okay, so again, infinite many solutions are either going to get the number when you solve is equal to itself or x is equal to x. There can be tons of solutions to these equations because each side of your equal sign is saying the exact same thing. Okay, so I'm going to flip it over because I did a lot on this page. And again, we're not writing on the next page, page 11, we're going to write on the back of page 10 because page 11 is going to be your independent practice. Okay. So the back of page 10, let's go through some more examples just so you guys can get the hang of it. Okay, example number 2. 12x plus 6 is equal to 2 times 3, plus 6x. I was not supposed to close the parentheses. Really, that needs to say 2 times 3 plus 6x like that. But I messed up and closed that parenthesis. Okay, I'm going to draw the barrier around my equal sign. Okay, let's take care of the distributive property. On the second side. Let me just copy this down real quick because the distributive property was on the other side this time. Okay, 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times a positive 6x is 12x. Okay, now some of you could start to see that I have a positive 6 on both sides and a positive 12x on both sides. So they're currently saying the same thing. But if you're not there yet, that's okay. Let's just go ahead and solve. So let's subtract 6 on both sides. 6 minus 6, 6 minus 6. We're down to 12x equals 12x. That's saying the same thing. And then the very last step is divide by 12, where x is equal to x. Okay? Or at this particular step here, you could have, again, if I write this out, 6 plus 12x is equal to 6 plus 12x. Don't worry, I just flip-flop those around, but it'll be okay. You could have subtracted the 12x here on each side and gotten to where it says 6 is equal to 6. Again, that's a true statement, so either way, you have infinite many solutions. Okay, no matter what no matter what values I plug in for x, I'm going to get the exact same answer because they're saying the exact same thing on each side of that equal sign. Okay, let's try a couple more. Number 3. 6x minus 7 is equal to negative 7 plus 6x. Draw your barrier. Okay, already I'm seeing I have a negative 7 on each side and a positive 6 on each side, but that's okay if we don't see it yet. Let's start moving things over. So I like to take care of the constants first, or the number without the x. So let's add 7 on both sides. Okay, already I see that 7 minus 7 is 0, so I'm left with 6x. Negative 7 plus 7 is 0, so I'm left with 6x. Okay, 6 divided by 6. Those each cancel out to 1, so I'm left with x is equal to x. No matter what value I plug in for x, it says the exact same thing on each side of this equation. Okay, and one last one. We'll just do 4 examples today. 4 times 3x minus 6 is equal to 6 times negative 4 plus 2x. Okay, so this one maybe isn't as obvious to see, so let's do some simplifying. Okay, let me move this out of the way just so you guys can see it a little better. And scoot up just a little bit more. Okay, let's take care of the distributive property. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times a negative 6 is negative 24. Okay, the other side, 6 times a negative 4 is negative 24. 6 times a positive 2x is plus 12x. Okay, I see I have positive 12x on each side. I also have negative 24 on each side, but that's okay if we're not there yet. Okay, let's go ahead and take care of our constants, which is a number without the variable. So the opposite of subtracting 24 is adding. Negative 24, positive 24 is 0. So I'm left with 12x. Negative 24, positive 24, that's 0. So I'm left with 12x. It's now saying the exact same thing. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. Okay. So I am left with x equals x. Well, that's another infinite many solutions. So today we are focused on infinite solutions or infinitely many solutions, or you could see the words all real numbers. Let me write that down. Okay, you could see infinite solutions. You can see infinitely many. Okay, or you could also see all real numbers. Okay, all that means, or all three of those means that you have infinite amount of numbers, or x could be any number, because on all parts of this equation, they're saying the exact same thing, or they are equal to each other. Okay, so again, if you're watching this video while we are virtual learning, this particular notes section was on page 10 of your notebook. And I went on to the back of page 10 because page number 11 is where you're going to show your work for your independent practice. Again, today's lesson was on infinite solutions, infinitely many solutions, or all real numbers. Hope this video has helped you and also learning a new type of multi-step equations. Best of luck to you on your independent practice.